Okay, good. This will be helpful later when we'll have the subject in the bass. Now, but will be helpful even now, because after this section, and it's true that what's written is a seventh, but in order to have our counter subject, we have to do our best to continue with the middle voice. Let's say this is the counter subject. No, this is the counter subject. We have to do our best to place it here. Since there is a different note as the first note of the subject, maybe we have to do something different even at the beginning of the counter subject. So we can say that the real counter subject starts after this point, but in the end it will work because it is a four. It can be a fifth. So now from the second line, the middle voice will take the yellow line this way. With a third. So do, re, mi, fa, re. This second down interval, this is we have a second down. This will become a third down.
Yes.
The F sharp we have here will be a D, and then from this point, play only these two voices.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Now,
so I can play it on the alto.
Yes, let's see if we can do this thing. How can I have to go out from the menu. Here? No, I don't want to. No. Here it is. Let's add a new instrument. What instrument is that? Piano. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Change time signature. We can do. Should be this one. Okay. I've never tried if it works this way or it crashes, because you know it may work. It would be amazing. Yes. Look. Amazing. Now, so key signature. We need the major, the major, exactly. Then I'm going to write the rest. Then tan 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 tan, 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 tan. Porca puttana. Dai, come on. Exactly. So. Tan, ta, tan. Tan, 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 tan. It should. I think it's because of the electricity. Let's try now. Indeed, it works. This way. Okay. Pam, 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 pam. Okay, indeed. And here we change this line. Change bar line. We want the repeat. Then we have tan, tan, ta, tan, 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 tan. Tan, ta, ta, ta. And here a second voice, so rest and ta, ta. No, it's my fault because I have to use the layout too. Yes.
Don't forget about the yes.
Indeed. And here let's write a better rest. Come on, you know that is a rest. Maybe here. Okay. Pam, 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 pam. Has to be more vertical this way. Tan, 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 tan. Then pam, 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 pam. Pam, pam, sharp. Pam, 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 pam. Pam, 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 pam. This way, okay? Pam, pam, and this can stay here. Okay. The soprano, which is layer 1, pam, pa, pa, pam. It has a tied D, Pa, da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Okay. And we finish with A. Okay, perfect. Now, the subject in the tenor. This is the tenor. So, back to rest. And we have dun, da, da, dun, dun. Tan, 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 tan. Then this will be the bass, so we can do that.
Just it's an A instead of a G.
Exactly.
Yes.
This F belongs to the tenor. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Yes, maybe. Okay, Okay, perfect. And the other voice now belongs to the bass. So we go to layer 2. Ta, ta, tan, tan. Rest. Good. No, it's not an F, but maybe. Okay. Then ta, ta, tan. Ta, tan. It's a D. Yes. Tan, 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 tan. Tan, 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 tan. Tan, ta, tan. Okay, and then it will continue in another direction. Okay, for the moment, let's arrive up to here. So in the middle voice, now you have to add the counter subject we outlined before, as you can see from here.
Yes.
So play the middle voice plus the counter subject.
Okay.
Yeah, but start with the downbeat. How do you connect that C to the F? I agree with you that we need an F here, but we need a connection to that F as well. Yes, here in that case, as you can see, we can add even a passing tone if you want. Because at the end we have to arrive to that D. You see? Good.
Yes.
Now?
7.
Yes, 7. So it's tied.
Yes.
Then? No, G natural in the bass. Okay, and now we have to continue with the soprano. So we have the counterpoint between the two middle voices. How do we continue the other voice?
The counterpoint?
Yes, in the soprano.
Yes.
Free counterpoint at the end.
Maybe.
No, a D, no, because it creates a 4/6.
6/4. Yes. Okay.
Something that you can do now after this section, maybe a little rest in the soprano could even be nice,
okay.
but just very little. For example, or something very little like an eighth, no, an eighth note rest. Yes, an eighth.
Okay, to. Okay. Six.
Parallel thirds, bravo, parallel thirds. You put this, but continue with parallel thirds.
Octaves. I can keep the D.
Keep the D. Since you have something in the middle, maybe you can do an imitation, because of course the following note will be a C sharp without any doubt. But so let's use an imitation here and here. You see what I mean? Yes. So there are different imitations that you can do. You can do an imitation of the previous soprano, ta ta ta, ta ta ta, for example, or ta ta ta, ta ta ta. What do you think that best suits your melody? Or little third, or an imitation of what's going to follow, because after we have this descending thing.
Yes.
So
I would have done this, but as long as I have the figura corta, it means it's fine.
Yes, it's fine indeed. So this thing, let's say we make this note shorter.
Yes, I could start from the G.
You have to start on the A, yeah? At least you'll do this and you'll do this in order to imitate what you have before. You see?
Could I cannot do a unison between the two upper voice on the G?
It's not the fact of the unison, it's the fact that it will be an augmented fourth. It's better to avoid that, because imagine the soprano to be an independent voice.
Yes, right. Yes. To 6.
For example, I'll tell you something very interesting. If you employ this figuration, I want this to be a black note. I'll fix it now. If you want this here to have a black note, we are creating a figure, and you're allowed to place another rest instead of something else, because it works with the development of the melody.
Yes, and I can do imitation between.
How? Yes, and what about? It works, okay. As G as an appoggiatura, but then you have a counter emotion with the middle voice and parallel thirds. Yes.
Maybe. No, it's 5 octaves, so.
Let's add the dot to this note. Ta-da, ta-da. Yes.
It's deleted. Yes. Ah, it's nice, your software. Oh no.
And? Yes. Ta-ta-ta, indeed.
And we had the D.
And tan 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 tan. We can place a D in the middle. Yes. Perfect. Yes. This way we have added a new element in the soprano, arrived from the subject. And the soprano, you know, it's not just a voice which is filling up the harmony without any sense, but it has its own melody. This is the main thing.
Yes.
Now the counter subject could be placed in the tenor. So only the tenor and bass, where the tenor has the counter subject.
Yes. Tenor.
Exactly. Pam.
Yes.
Pam pa 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 pam pa pa. Indeed. Pam, pa, pa, pam, 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 pam. Pam, there are two. Da, 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 da. We put a sharp. It was a sharp. Okay. Good. And then A. Now the other two voices, but we can see, well, we should look at what's going to happen after this. We're going to have a solo between the two upper voices. Do you see? As you can see. So let's say if we continue with a 4-voice texture, the contrast with the following 2-voice section, which will be more interesting. So we should continue the speech with 4 voices. You understand? I'm saying that after this section, we have a solo between the two upper voices. So the previous part, the previous section should is better.
It has to be it has to be a solo when it's written like this. It's
generally, yes.
only?
Sometimes you can add something in the bass, but in this case, you can manage it as a solo without any problem. Yes.
Okay.
So
4 voice, okay. Is it normal you wrote inverted the C and the B on the tenor?
what do you mean?
On your tenor, what you wrote?
No. No. Okay.
Yes.
It's a C and it's a B. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I would do an imitation from our soprano, but I may be writing it on the alto. Change.
Okay. So you mean what we did before in the soprano, now in the alto?
Yes.
Why not?
Parallel third.
Why not? We had parallel thirds, so yes. Okay. So in parallel thirds, so F, G, 16th. That's what we did. We did ta ta ta. Then we put another rest, and we did natural indeed. Pam pam pam. Ready to. So you mean this? This can work, yes. And
Okay.
in the soprano?
So
Do you want to know the secret technique? Yes. For example, if you have the bass and the alto moving in parallel tense, try to move the alto and the soprano and the tenor in parallel tense. Then then maybe we can so not constantly, but then we can cut it out at some point. Yes.
Okay.
So parallel tenths over the tenor. For example, if we do this is fine. Then, as you can see, if I remain on F sharp, it will be difficult to play the E and F.
Yes.
So in that case, we have to change something. For example, free counterpoint. Dun, dun, dun. Let's move the melody downwards to another consonant note. For example,
yes.
Dun, dun, dun. Could be something like that to a B. I mean to a D. Then E, yes.
Transformation.
And what about an A here? Dun, dun. One second, the screen mirroring crashed. It's crashed. I'm reconnecting it. Because I have to restart the software. I'm trying.
I have to find a way to download the staff pad for Android.
It does not exist.
Yes, but I may hack. I may hack. I don't know.
No, it's not possible to hack. It's not possible to hack iOS software on Android. Go.
So. Beyond the soprano. I'd use a D, do some kind of fifth down 4 up.
This. And you want this.
D on the D.
D on the
bass.
D.
Yes.
But then
I double the bass.
So in the soprano, you want a D here.
Yes.
Okay, you want a D. And okay.
Oh, I would have put synth on the third time for the third beat, but.
The problem with the soprano is that you're going to have this. It's much better to have.
Okay.
You see?
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun. So. Dun, dun, dun. This way.
Yes.
At the same time, this D approach that way. If we can. have the same approach of the as an imitation. Ta ta ta. You see, it's even better. Ta ta. Yes, this was the second voice, and then down. Okay, and this is complete at the end. Okay, you see, it's a very well 4-voice counterpoint. It's a very well done 4-voice counterpoint. So. Yes, each voice, it's cantabile, it has its own melody, it's very well conducted, yes. Now we have a section with a duo. The section with a duo, so we could even do nothing because, you know, it's just to create a contrast. We could do something, maybe we could add a tenor, why not? We can do that. We could add a tenor working as a little bass, why not? Let's do it. So let's copy. Let's copy this section.
Where do we finish?
This section here, the solo section goes from here up to the cadence to E.
Okay.
Then, if we assume that this is,
if
you assume that this is the tenor, the bass, you see, we may like to have the tenor below this section, maybe. And so let's do this way. First of all, let's copy the written notes, which are da 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 da. How to connect these with the subject, because the subject then continues. Dun, da, da, dun, dun, da, da. No, I have to pay attention when I use when I write here. I have to be very, very precise. Just wait. Come on. So dun, da, dun. This way. Da, dun, din, 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 din. Here, ta 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 ta. In order to continue with the speech, rhetorically speaking, I would add this section. Ta, ta, ta. Do you see what I mean?
Okay.
With G sharp, and then natural. I've never written a natural scene, so I don't know how I have to do it. To do that actually. Maybe this way. Yes. Then the second layer, the alto. This way. Fa, mi, fa, mi.
I think I find the third voice.
Good.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. how can I? Should I do this? Yes. Dun, dun, dun. So dun dun dun, F sharp, dun dun dun, tied to G sharp this way. Dun dun. Dun dun dun. Okay. What about the third voice?
So I would do D.
Where? Well, what beat of this bar?
D, D, D on the tenor on the second beat.
Okay. So I mean D here.
3/5. Maybe a little high, but
What do you mean
because
high?
I want to go up to in parallel third.
Ah, the lower D.
Yes, maybe it could be a little low for the tenor, but
Let's see. Because we before we did. Do you remember this? Let's see. Do you know invertible counterpoint at a tenth?
yes.
It means that if we raise the bass up an octave, we should lower the soprano down a tenth, which means starting from E. Then that's G. So at the 12th, I mean, not at 10. Do you know that works? So look at this melody. Play the soprano, this soprano with the bass. Only soprano and bass. Okay, now you'll play the bass an octave higher in this register and the soprano a 12th lower. So starting from E. That's the magic of invertible counterpoint at the 12th.
Okay.
No, there's something wrong. In the down a 12th, not a 5th. C sharp, yes. No, these G, A, and B become ta 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 ta. No, I think you're playing something totally wrong in the left hand. In the left hand we have. So this is in the right. In the left, this G. Do you see the G in the soprano? A 12th down will be a C, but we'll make it sharp.
Okay, I just did at the octave. Okay. So no.
Invertible counterpoint, the 12th. So the soprano is a 12th down.
Okay.
It works. we have to see if it matches, if it works with the given tenor, with the given alto, I mean. So we said we have a rest, then this invertible counterpoint wants to be start on E. Da, dun, da, da, dun. Yes, it seems to work up to this point. Dun, dun, dun. As you can see, we get parallel octaves now. If I write C sharp and D, we get parallel octaves, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
But of course, I prefer to have the invertible counterpoint more than. Porca puttana, can you write a sharp? I don't remember if you want the sharp in what direction it is, up or down. No, fuck.
Right,
Ma
no,
porca loca, Troy. Not the D.
the other way around. The other way.
Oh. What's wrong with your sister?
The other way around, the bar, yes.
Wait. Maybe I have to write it in a different location. Is there... Please. No. Keep calm. What's wrong? There's a tool. You see sharps or flat here in the tool? Bar? No. But maybe let's write the sharp before the note this way. It may be... What? What the hell? What's this? Come on, this is a very... Ah, but I'm stupid. C sharp is already in the key signature.
Ah, yes, you're right. Yes, yes.
Ah, indeed. So okay. So do you see that we have parallel octaves? You see parallel octaves?
Yes.
In that case, I prefer to have my inversion. So, of course, I transform this into a D, as you can see. I transform this into a D. And here we can do at least a little imitation like that. Dun, 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 dun. You see? And so we have invertible counterpoint at the 12th, which is incredible to put it in this little piece. This is a well-written. This is the good way to develop a fugue, not just with random notes. Okay, good. Dun, 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 dun. Now,
how do you know that you can do counterpoint at the 12th instead of at the 3rd or the 10th or octave? How did you get the idea?
These are magic secrets. If I tell you that, then I have to kill you.
Okay, tell me then.
I mean, so there are some general principles. For example, invertible counterpoint will always at the 12th works if you do parallel thirds. Why? Because if I play, for example, G, play G and B, play parallel thirds. Okay, now if you put this a 12th down, there will be lower thirds instead of upper thirds. And since we had parallel thirds between the bass and our soprano, inverted, there will be lower thirds. Instead of upper thirds, they become lower thirds. This is the point. You see?
Okay, of course, yes. Yes, of course.
For sure, yes.
For sure.
Okay. Nice. Now we need the cadence. We need to do the cadence.
So D.
Yes. Then what do you do after? Of course, we need a D. We need an E. Then. What do you place after E?
Maybe F sharp?
Yes. Sol, Fa, Sol, La. Then?
No. No.
Watch out, parallel fifth. Indeed. In that case, you have to prevent this parallel fifth with parallel sixth, for example. This way. Then no. You cannot do a cadence to A because I'll show you.
What. Yes. It's weird.
And it won't work. So in that case, what to do? We need the second voice that has a rest. So this way, a rest. Then this rest, and here this will be part of the bass. Dun, 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 dun. Then this is something which must be modified. What do I mean? Dun, 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 for example. I do not see any other possibility. Yes.
So. What would I do with my tenor?
You know that you have to write. You could write the position, and so. For example, we can make this D sharp. Okay, and then we have the bass. So which is layer 2. And here the subject will continue with the sequence. This way. That way, yes. Then we have to place the ritornello line. Change bar line. Here is the ritornello, that way. Okay, and then the final bar line here. Here it is. Good. Now,
Parallel third between bass and soprano.
what do you say?
Because it has a sequence, so maybe I can.
Yeah, but before the sequence, you have the subject, the head of the subject. We have to do the subject.
Countersubject.
I didn't understand what you said. The words, I mean.
Countersubject, even with the sequence.
But the sequence starts later. The sequence starts in the following bar.
Ah, yes, you're right. Okay.
That's the subject. And then we have the sequence.
No, I confused with 7/6. I thought it was a sequence, but it's
no.
It's in the countersubject.
Yes. So.
Okay. So. I don't remember the countersubject.
Here.
So.
Consider that the subject starts here, so we already have this occupied. We need that note, the third, over F sharp. So this can be placed without any problem in the soprano. You see, the third fits very well in the soprano. I see, I have to write very precise lines. Tan, 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 tan. This, then which is a dot, and tan, tan.
I don't understand why he doesn't reuse the same entry here. Why did he use a pam pa 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 instead of?
Because this rule of the tonal subject works. It's very important for the first entry, for the first exposition. In the second exposition, in the other expositions, we have more freedom. We can do the real answer. So the tonal answer, and Marburg clearly says that is clearly precise, conceived for the first exposition. Okay?
Okay. So
and the sequence starts this bar.
And what's the number?
The numbers are now we'll see them. There is a 6/5, 6/5, 8/6, but we can do this. Yes. Then let's complete this line because there is a 7th. We can have the 7th suspension. The 7 and the 6, they can be placed. How? There's a 7th over the F sharp.
Alto, I can keep it.
Yes, in the alto. Then
with the tenor, I'd like to reuse some.
So this descends to the D. Okay, then in the tenor.
Maybe I can reuse some elements that we wrote before with pa 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 pa. Can you show me again that what we wrote with the 3 counterpoints? Yes.
Yeah, it was free, but not so free because we reused our elements a lot of times. The most important thing is that we need a G sharp over that D, and because the alto is singing and the D, I see that the best place where to put the G sharp is the tenor, actually. I'm talking about this point.
Yes.
So we can do something to arrive to the G sharp here.
Mm-hmm.
What can we do? First of all, contratone. Consider one more thing that the bass, the tenor is doing. So a little rest can be put in the tenor. I mean, a little rest can be put in the tenor this way. Yes, and then as a counter emotion imitation. This is what I would do. This and counter emotion imitation. Indeed. So rest and pam pam 16th. This way. Ta-da-dun. And what about the alto?
Okay, so
To the E.
motion.
Yes. Tan tan tan. Now we have to prepare. You have to prepare the very first 6/5. How can we put? It will be better to. So 6/5 8/6. This means a suspension 2/3 between two voices. It would be very nice to have this between the two upper voices. So maybe a rest followed by this 8th note tied here. Something like this. A 2/3 2/3 between the two upper voices. Try. G sharp, So 6/5.
Yes.
Play. Okay, so tan, 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 ta, tan. Now we can play some diminutions. Da, da, dun, da, da, dun. This way. Yes, and the same in the soprano. Yes, and now the tenor. The tenor.
Okay.
Yes.
3 3 3. So third. Po.
What will you do?
D, D, D on the first beat.
No. Because according to
no,
the
no,
6/5,
F sharp, sorry,
according
F sharp,
to, yes, we need an F sharp.
No, third, of course.
So, then we can have, then B seems the most interesting thing.
Isn't it possible to do some kind of
yes. Or because we had a cadence before. Ta, 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 ta. Even better could be as the final variation to do this. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Of course. Sharp. Exactly. Dun, 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 dun. Yes. Dun, da, da, dun, dun, dun. Chromatic. And then towards double cadence. The most important thing if we do the chromaticism is to have a 6 in that point. 6 and 5, because G major doesn't work very well. 1 second, the screen sharing. I have to change the software. This one is not so good. I'm restarting it. I will do this. So in the soprano, yes. G natural. Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Fa, mi, re, do.
octave?
You see? What?
I thought it was the 6/5 on the G, but no.
No, 6 or horizontally 6/5. So because we'll put a D, an E, and a D that way. Dun, dun.
I would have wrote
Yes. I agree. Yeah, we are doing now a simple thing, just a structure. So in the tenor D, and this then has to come back to the beginning. So it perfectly works because we have F sharp. The connection is not clear because here is starting on beat number 1 and here this line is on beat number 3. So there is something in the bars which is not working very well, but this can be fixed in a way or another way with a longer E here tied to a 9. Tan, taran, tan. This way. Tan. No, I want. Okay. Tan, ta, it's more, let's say. Okay. Okay. Then taran, tan, ta. Because maybe I have to write it that way. Maybe no. Taran, tan, tan.
It's not the same note, so.
You're right. Sometimes French are useful.
Yes.
Okay. And here with the 6 in the 10. I mean a third. 3/6 harmony.
I don't understand why you put the 9th without resolving it.
It's resolving. After. It's resolving. We are not in the Renaissance style. In Baroque style, we can do this resolution.
Okay.
Okay. And then you can put the lamentation you prefer in the. Okay. Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Ta-da-dun, ta-da-dun. I hope that, okay, almost, because this is another 16th, but maybe it's better if I write the whole figure. Dun, this way. Tin, dun, tin. Yes. Dun, 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 dun. So, dun, 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 and this is tied. Dun, dun, dun. Tatul fame. So we can do this. This tied to this. And the fugue is complete.
Nice. Okay.
Okay. Now we should be able to hear it. Let's see. How can I change the metronome? It's too hard. It's too vintage. edit metronome, okay, but count, no, I want not the metronome, but I want the speed of the metronome. I think I have to use it, to use the metronome feature. Where is the metronome feature? You see the metronome marker, the time mark?
No, I don't see your full screen, so...
Ah, you're right, at the top.
Yes, the metronome is on the left.
No, but there is a way, there is a way to write it, maybe this way, I don't know, I'm not sure. I know there is a way to write something like that, because the metronome here doesn't allow me to edit something. Want to add the speed.
I don't think it's on the on this menu. It should be on the parameters, no?
No, but that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. I'm sure there's a way to do it.
And in a time signature, no?
Ah, maybe this way. Change, add instrument, change class, change time signature. No. Maybe here on the score, insert text. No. No. Insert text, add lyrics. No. No. I have no idea actually. I have to watch some videos on how to add the metronome settings. There's a way, yeah. Okay, no problem. Let's listen to it. So, but let me see it now, because it should be something very easy. Staff pad, how to change staff pad? Change metronome speed. The tempo mapping for audio. Utility stuff. Utility stuff, indeed. Okay. Okay, I have to add a tempo as a text. Insert text. Then I have to write, let's say we want 60. You see? It appears.
Yes.
Here is the way. Let's go.
I can't hear anything.
Okay, and then there is the issue of the tempo we found before, and then done. Nice. So
it's nice that we change sometimes figura corta for.
Do you want to learn how to compose music in the Renaissance or Baroque style? If you are at the beginning of your musical journey, or a professional looking to deepen your knowledge of early music, the best path may be a guided integrated course. Composing in the style of the 16th century or the 17th and 18th century requires much more than knowing harmony and counterpoint. You need to navigate a vast world, including Solmization, Fugue, Cantus, Firmus, Mensural notation, Partimenti, dances, chorales and more. To avoid getting lost, you need an experienced guide, a musicus practicus who knows the path, walks beside you step by step, and helps you overcome each challenge with tailored exercises, attentive feedback, and continuous dialogue. Have a question about a topic? We'll discuss it. Stuck on an exercise? We'll work through it together. Want to go deeper into a subject? We'll tackle it with focus. Every month I accept a limited number of apprentice musicians like you for a program of personalized one-to-one lessons where I guide them in learning to compose in the Renaissance and Baroque style. How it works? During our one-to-one lessons we focus on 2 and 3 voice composition, counterpoint and partimenti, practical exercises on historical style, schemata, cadences, voice leading, models, patterns, and much more. During the week, you'll also follow recorded lessons on repertoire analysis, pattern structure, tones and modes in polyphony, rhythm of historical dances, and everything else you need to progress. This way, each individual lesson becomes focused, effective, and productive. If you'd like to apply for the musical apprenticeship program, go to the link and fill out the form telling me your musical background, studies, experiences, instruments, what you play, your current skill, what you can compose, if you know partimenti, chorales, anything else, and your goals, what you would like to learn in the short, medium and long term. I'll personally read your message and get back to you within 24 hours to let you know how we can work together. Don't miss the spot and learn to compose music as if you had lived in the Renaissance or in the Baroque.